This is the preparation of the harmonium itself. This is a very important step. You can pack a harmonium perfectly, but if you don't prep it right, it can still get damaged in shipment. This is in the upright position. This is a fold-up harmonium. So the first thing to do is to drop it down into the outer box, and then you have slight movement left and right here, back and forth. So you want to put things, we're using this foam, it's got to fit right, not too tight, but not too loose either. So I've kind of prepared these. It's going to look very easy and organized and stuff, but you know, it takes a while to arrange all your material and get it organized. But once you do, so that's good there. And then in the back, a little bit thicker pieces are slip. That one doesn't fit, so you got to find. I have a selection. This will fit in here pretty well, I think. That fits in great there. One on each side, and then in this corner, I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'm putting one in the exact same place on the other side. So that's ready to go, and that will stabilize it back and forth. Okay. This is a scale change harmonium. So for a scale change harmonium, you have to do special preparation. First, we're going to take the top off here. This kind of harmonium can open up.
So once you start to get, once you get into it, it's going to be in tune. Some of the cheaper ones will be not as well tuned. So once you start getting it done,
so you want to make sure that these are open, not closed, because if it gets jolted, these latches can get broken off. So open them up. Make sure they're open. And then the scale change mechanism, we're going to move all the way to the right side, leaving a big space here. The scale change mechanism is done with this knob right here. A lot of times in India, they'll pack it so they'll tie a string with this knob and something over here so it doesn't move left. But in shipping, that can bend this knob, so we don't want that. So instead of that, what we're going to do is we're going to take some very fine bubble wrap, cut into strips, like this, and we're going to put that in here so that the mechanism has nowhere to go. We're going to do it from the back. You have to be careful when you do this not to rip the ribbon. We're just going to carefully put it in underneath the ribbon. Before I do that though, let me just check this one. They're all different. Yeah, this is definitely the right way. Sure. Okay.
That would be my advice. His video was good. I think it's $60 or something for the DVD. It's
and you know, this will take a minute. Just do it gradually, more than one piece, and you just kind of put it in there, fill it up. And then when you take it out again, you're going to have to pull it out from the back again. So just make sure you do everything very slowly and carefully so that you don't damage any of the mechanism.
Yeah, I started
after you put this in. Hopefully I'll have enough of this to do this. Make sure that you don't rip the ribbon, so you gotta just, you know, you can use your fingers, but just don't stretch it too far. One or two more pieces and I think we'll be good to go.
That's kind of a more reasonable price for your first glue. You end up with multiples of them anyway, and you start stretching and going lower as you can put your hands stretch out.
So you have the foam here on the fronts and the sides, and then you have this bubble wrap under here. So that's pretty packed in. Let's see. Now try moving it, and it can't move. You can put it up and down, but you can't move it left and right. So that's perfect, and it's not pushing too much pressure upwards. So nice and stuffed in there. That'll work. Next, another piece of bubble wrap. cut in the shape of this. Just use this top sheet, put it over the bubble wrap and cut around it. And that kind of protects it in shipping, gives you a little bit of cushion. You put that there and this here. And the inside is basically ready to go. I'm going to put a little direction thing here just to remind you that once you take all this stuff out, you got to redo the latches, right? Then you have a bit of space between the top part of the harmonium and the top part of the cover. So I've already measured this and discovered that bigger bubble wrap, 3 pieces, will fit on there. So I'm going to put them just right on top. 1, 2.
The bubble on the top side. This bubble on the top side, otherwise it will leave the mark.
Yeah. Now he's saying something important. If you get into like kind of hot weather, it can leave a mark on the finish, especially if the finish is new. This finish isn't entirely new, so there's not much danger. But if it gets really hot, it can. That'll better. So it's better to put, when you put the bubble wrap directly against the finish, put the smooth part against the finish. And then put the cover on. Close it up. Lift it up. Give it a little shake. Yeah, I think that's good to go. So that's the first part. We've prepped the harmonium. This is the second stage. This is going to be preparation for the inner box. We're going to double box this harmonium. We have placed bubble wrap with the smooth side up, which is going to go against the finish here. And we needed 2 sheets, so it's kind of like not connected in the middle here. And then we're going to put it up here. Like that. Tape it down. Stays. That. And then do the corners as efficiently as possible so you don't get too much of a bulge on the ends. I'll show you more clearly when I get to that side. There's that. Do this. Go here. That. That. Helps to have a tape gun. Makes things a lot easier. One important thing, once you get to this point in the process, make sure you are aware of up and down. Keep track of it. A lot of times what I do is I take a pen and I just put a line here in ink just to say that's the top and this is the top. Reason being is you need to know which is the top and which is the bottom once you put it in the box. So if you're not quite sure, that'll help you. Okay, so this is top with handle, top of the instrument, bottom. Then, this is the inner box. This is the box that came in India. We have these foam corners made out of 3 pieces of foam. This is an idea that the Indians gave us and we've adopted it. It's a good idea. So that we use that for each corner and then put a little paper in the bottom just so it's not all centered on the corners there, but there's support all along the bottom. And we're just going to drop this whole instrument onto those corners and it should fit very snugly. Before we do that though, again, we're going to put a line here and a line here just to tell us top and top. Otherwise you can lose track and you're going, which was the top? Okay. Also notice in this whole process I have a piece of cardboard down here, cardboard or rug, something soft that's not hard, that's not going to damage your instrument while you're doing all this. So here we go, we're going to drop it in. that fits really well into those corners. You can put your hand down and feel it. It's great. All the way along. But you have space on the sides, right? You're going to put 4 more corners here, 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 and here. But before we do that, you want to fill in the sides with paper. So it's not just the corners that are supporting it. It's very important.
What sort of a paper are you using?
This paper is 3-ply paper. It can be anything. This is kind of good stuff. We have all the material here, so it's dead easy to pack our harmonium if you have all the materials. But any kind of paper will work. But this stuff works really efficiently. It's kind of crumpled up in a roll. Easy to put in, easy to use. And you can kind of pre-cut it with our machine. If you're packing it kind of on your own, you're not necessarily going to have this much convenience in your materials, but having said that, any paper will work. Like that, looking pretty good. Okay, we get our corners here. So each corner fits in there. And again, this is just the inner box. So maybe one more piece of paper on this side. Fill it in. Looking good. And then we're going to put some on the top too. We're about ready to go. So then, close it up. And you can see a little bit with the paper and stuff. The original box, you can just kind of press it and compact it. Make a nice, tight, snug fit. You don't want to turn a scale change harmonium upside down because the action can go all wonky. So you got to keep track. So this is the top and the top. Remember, we made those marks just so we know where one is. That's probably good enough for this box, okay? So that's the inner box. This is the top with the handle. This is the top of the harmonium.
Roll.
Okay, this is the third step, which is putting the inner box into the outer box. I've prepared all this stuff. It takes a while to prepare all this stuff. Like, this is the box it came in, so that was easy. But this one, actually, this was a square box when it started. I had to, like, reshape it. Hopefully you can get a box that is the right shape. What you want is 2 inches all around on all sides for padding. And that is kind of what UPS requires, but also it's just enough padding to protect the whole instrument. So I've measured it. You can see if you put this box up against this one, there's 2 inches on the bottom and the top in case they put it up on the side. There's 2 inches on either side. It's the perfect size for it. So what we're going to do, we're going to start by putting a roll of paper. This makes it easy if you have a paper machine that can kind of sausage roll your paper. This is 3-ply paper rolls that make a paper sausage and make packing really easy for us. We do this on a professional level, so we have that kind of equipment. I'm going to put 2 layers of this paper at the bottom of this box. Okay, so this is the box without the paper, and then we're going to put 2 layers of this paper here. You're not going to be able to see me doing this. I'm going to disappear into the box. We're still looking for the last paper guy who was doing this. We never found him. So that's kind of what that looks like once you get it in there. All right? So that's the bottom. And then, very important, we are going to drop this box. We're going to slide it in very gently, but we're going to drop this box into this box. So before we do that, important information. This is the top with a handle. This is the top on the side here. So since we're going to drop it in like this, this is going to be the top here. I'm going to mark it with the handle. And this is going to be the top right here. Right? So here we go. This is kind of heavy.
Do you need it yet?
I think I'm okay, hopefully.
Well, for the pair, anywhere from 200 to 600.
It's all happening. There we go. And that went in very nicely. So, done is we've put the inner box into the outer box with some padding at the bottom, and then we're going to put paper around it gradually and fill it up. We're going to mummify it with paper. We've already marked the top and the top here, so we know where we're at. Now, just going to take some paper here and kind of fit it around. And then, before we do anything else, never forget, you also have to put the bag in. I almost forgot the bag. So this bag will help with the padding. So this is the top. I want most of the paper on the bottom, right? So I'm going to put the bag on the top side. So this is a big bag. It's going to slide in this way. And this will help pad the whole thing. So that's there. I'm going to move this just a little bit here. Get some space. Now we're ready to put the paper in the rest of it. And this is just kind of your gradual fill the thing up with paper effect. Not rocket science. It really helps to have strips of paper to make this go easier. I'm going to also put it in the top just to make sure it's all filled up enough, but it's pushing it out, it should be fine. And then you want to put it all the way down, so we're going to use a board. This is very high tech. And you just use the board. It's about 1.5 inches, perfect. And that just slides it in, compacts it down so that it's filled in all the way, right? And then we're ready for the next piece of paper like that. This will make a pretty boring video probably, because it's not much except just putting paper in and shoving it down. Okay, so I think we can cut it and we'll just turn it on when we're ready. So we've been wrapping paper all around. We're getting to the top now. Just got to get it to the point where it's filled up on the top, so you have equal padding on the bottom and the top in case they turn it on its side. Likely to happen in shipping.
It's better because it's got a more close wire.
One more small piece and we're done.
I don't know if it's any better. I like the sound of it. When I shoved it, I can get a little bit more body.
Then,
but it's hard to say.
put the flaps on.
For students, no, well, that's the thing. The neck is a little bit.
You can see it's like really nice and tight. You have a tape gun. You only have yourself, use your knees.
It's not that solid. I wouldn't say, oh, it's a world-class guitar, but sound-wise, fit it anyway.
And we've also brought in a UPS worker who's going to try and no.
I'm up for the challenge, believe me.
If we weren't serious about sending us, we'd have you destroy it. But, it took him 10 minutes. This should hold up pretty well. It's a very well packed instrument, which is the goal. We do this with all our harmoniums. We generally try to double box when we can. It's just better. We've been doing this a long time, and we figured out how to do that best. So that's about it. It's pretty much ready to go. Again, you put it down, and this is the top. We already marked it, and this is the top here. So if we were going to put a label on it, we would put the label so that you're reading it this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark it fragile this side up. Right, so you can see it, and then this side up. And that way, if they're reading it this way, they'll know that if they do drop it down, they can put it that way. But we're going to put arrows here and here and all around, just showing you which side we want up, which is the handle up side. And then we'll mark fragile on it and handle with care. There you go, a harmonium. This probably weighs about 60 pounds, I would say.